After a long time of waiting, the update is out. But here we go, here are the two new towers. They are kinda expensive, but I mean, they are not that much expensive. Let's buy both of them, the medic and the slimmer tower. They look amazing, not gonna lie. And there is also an enemy power up, the Punkbuster missile power up. I have no idea what it does, but there is also a brand new map, which is a great map for the Honest mod. But for the last, there is the UGC set. You can become the Eradicator MK1C with those items. They do look very cool. I am gonna try this loadout. I got no idea how good the towers are, but let's find out. It will be very interesting. Yep, I will do the expert mode. We need to test out the towers, you know. Expert is the best mode for that, and I will also activate the 50% speed boost. We can start with a slammer. On the base level, she does nearly 4 DPS, but she can hit up to 4 enemies at a time, which is very nice. She is not able to one-shot these enemies though. We need to upgrade her. Now she can one-shot these enemies, but I mean, if you spam more of her, it's so much better. The tower is very cheap to place and, not gonna lie, the upgrades are kinda expensive. I mean, she becomes even better when you upgrade her, but the upgrades are more expensive than the placement price. I would recommend spamming base level slammers instead. She does great though, not gonna lie. She is decent for the early game. So, the both of the upgrades cost so much. I don't know what I will do, but I know that for sure I need to get a Golden Ranger, because the slammer sucks against quick enemies like these guys. We need to get that Golden Ranger as soon as possible. So I got it now, we will be okay, but I need to get a few more Golden Rangers. I will be honest, the Slimmer is not that good in the early game, but maybe if you spam level 0 Slimmers, she may become good. But still, I would prefer the Golden Ranger because of its range. The Slimmer has a very small range and it's bad against quick enemies in the early game. You know what's good about her? She ignores the bullet protection. She has a special type of attack now. What we call this? The hammer attack? Will the new enemies have the hammer attack protection? Last time we saw the laser protection. So what now? I got no idea. Like really. She is very nice when the enemies are very close to each other. But for one target, she is not that good because of her range. I will say, don't use her as your main DPS tower. In the early game, of course. She is going to require some help for sure. But I mean, she is still very helpful. The bad thing about her in the early game is that she can't stun the enemies. But soon, that's going to change. So now, on the bottom pad, she has a yellow shirt and she is very cool actually. And now she can stun enemies, which is amazing, especially for the knight. However, her range is just so small, so it did nothing against the knight. I can't imagine how good she will be in the later levels. I am very sure about that. As you can see, she can ignore any type of protection and deal damage to an enemy. She also has stat addiction on the bottom pad, which is again pretty helpful for the tower. However, on the top pad, I don't think she has stat addiction, so that's the bad thing about this tower. So what can she do now? She has a limit of damaging 4 enemies at a time, but I am shocked. She is doing pretty well against these armored heavies. She can one-shot them and yeah, she is doing good. Let me upgrade her now. She stuns enemies for longer. It was 1 second before, now it's 1.5 seconds. That's not a very huge thing, but the DPS of her is also increased. She also has stun immunity now, which is pretty nice on this level. She will be really helpful in Honest mode, I am sure about that. But you know that she is still not that good for DPS. Top pad is probably so much better for DPS. Do you think she is worth the 22k gold? Let me know in the comments. I think she is kinda worth it. It's really been a while since I played the expert mode. I have to use an A-tab because I don't wanna waste my cash. So yeah, we also had some other leaks from the Wave 19. We are okay now though. This game is easy, man. Who needs the slammer or medic? Just use the power-ups. It's the easiest way. This wave is a huge problem, man. I don't have any splash damage tower and our slammer doesn't even do enough DPS to kill these armored guys. So yeah, I need to use another power-up in this wave. I did place a golden juggernaut, but it's not enough, man. There are so many of them and we need to use that power-up for sure. So now, let's max it out. The slammer bottom pad max level. Now she does 130 DPS, which is decent, and she can stun enemies for more than 2 seconds. The target limit is still 4 and there is no ability on the bottom pad. I guess we will see the ability on the top pad. I mean, she does still look pretty cool. Now let's check out the top pad max level. On this level, she does more than 50 DPS, which is again not that much. The max level is so expensive and it's kinda worth it. She gets a whole new ability and also so much more DPS than before. And now she can hit 14 enemies at a time. That is crazy, man, trust me. The top pet is kinda better in my opinion. Look at the ability of the Slammer. Her ability is actually OP, like what we saw before. She burns the enemies and also stuns them for a little. And now I think we can see the medic tower. The medic is actually the tower I was interested for. There is literally nothing else in this guy except heal per second and its range. But I am not including the abilities, of course. Yep, I was right. He has two abilities, one ability at the top pad, one ability at the bottom pad. But he is very expensive, so we have to wait a little to max him out. The top pad medic literally makes the tower you pick have god mode for a few seconds. There is no way it can die when you use the ability of the medic. But I know that it's only going to be useful in illness mode. However, the bottom pad is very exciting. It's fantastic, man. It triples the damage of any tower for a few seconds. That's just crazy. Triple damage is just insane. And you can play so many medics and max them out. We literally destroyed the predators without any loss. The medics are pretty good, not gonna lie, but I am still confused about them. There is so much we have to learn about this tower. Let's upgrade this gold juggernaut and let me show you guys how much DPS the gold juggernaut will have with triple damage of the medic. So literally more than 7k DPS with everything except the rage ability of the John Tower. If you have it, the DPS can go up to like 9k DPS maybe. I am not really sure about that, but probably it's going to be like that. Bro, I wanted to get a few more top pass slammers, but they are doing nothing because they don't have stat addiction. That's a huge L for the top pet, but anyways, I wish he had the stat addiction. And by the way, if you use more than one triple damage ability on a single tower, that literally does nothing. The DPS is still 7k, so yeah, you can't stack the abilities, which is kinda sad, but it is made for the balancing. Here is the Eradicator MK2. You can stun it with the ability of the top pass slammer, but when he goes to the stat, the slammers become useless. Bro, I am going to be honest, the DPS we are doing is just insane with the help of the medics. Literally, man, they are so OP. My favorite is the medic, but the slammer is very cool too. I don't know, I just see the medic more useful and I always wanted to see it in the game. So anyways, we killed the Eradicator MK2. It was easy, man. By the way, the new power up is just a better version of the airstrike. It deals 8k DPS and it can stun any enemy in the game for 15 seconds. That includes the bosses too. Literally the Eradicator MK2 and others. It's very useful. Anyways, man, that's all for this update. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Have a good day or night and see ya.